And it's time for the Hart and Simmons Coaches Show with Coach Jesse Burleson. I'm Al Pickett, and Coach, you opened up the season 47-3, a victory over Albright. And I guess offensively, it always begins with the quarterback and Galen Glenn, American Southwest Conference Player of the Week, over 400 yards total offense, over 300 passing. He looked like he was in midseason form.
He played really well, and that's kind of what we expected from him now. You know, he's got some experience, and he's able to do some things. What was really great is to see that first play whenever they chase it down. He pulls that thing and goes about 60 on the first play. I was like, okay, we're ready to roll here. And so it was a very good performance. He, one or two mistakes that he'll definitely clean up. Other than that, he played really well.
We made the joke on the broadcast that with Taylon Garrett and KJ Peoples and Jazir George, your three starting receivers, go 5'5", 5'6", and 5'7". We need to come up with a nickname for your little short receivers.
I was trying to remember. I can't remember which NFL team they had. They called their receiving corps the Smurfs. That was back in the 80s.
That's better than anything we came up with.
Oilers or Redskins or somebody, and they had some guys that weren't the tallest guys in the world, but those guys are pretty dynamic.
Well, they absolutely are. And, of course, a couple people that are a lot bigger than that. Gotti Pyatt had a big ball game with 2 receptions, and I thought your tight end Brock Gibson had a terrific game in his first start.
Yep, Brock has definitely come on, and GP he's done a good job too. He's definitely matured over the last couple months and starting to figure out how he fits in that offense. And so, to get both those guys going a little bit, that was always a nice boost as well.
Defensively, you hold them to less than 300 yards. I don't think I've ever, in all my almost 50 years doing this, have I seen a 337-pound quarterback who was pretty athletic.
Yeah, we didn't have a game plan for the 337-pound quarterback. It was try to hit him in the knees was about all you could do because he was big, but he could run. I was very impressed. That's definitely a weapon that you don't really see coming down the pipe right there, but they did a good job with him, and I thought our guys adjusted well.
What else stood out in the victory for you all?
I think that it was some new guys and some new roles that definitely stepped up and proved that they can and will get the job done. Definitely got some things, I think every coach is going to look and say, man, we did this wrong, we did this wrong. You kind of focus on that stuff sometimes to make sure that you're improving in those aspects. But I thought overall for a first game, it was a pretty good outing. Was pleased with our effort and the execution for the most part, and definitely some things we can improve on moving forward.
Did you come out injury-free?
For the most part, we got a couple of bumps and bruises, just like you're going to get in any game. Stellan Wright did dislocate his elbow, so he'll miss some time. That was unfortunate because he had a really good camp and was really coming on. So hopefully we'll be able to get him fixed up and get him back for the future.
One of your safeties, Devontae Nephew, missed the game with an injury. Will he be back this week?
He played a little, but he felt way better yesterday. So we'll get him back and get him rolling too.
Okay, next up, Wisconsin lacrosse. And you all were talking, I think you played lacrosse maybe 15, 16 years ago. They opened with a victory over Dakota State. Traditionally, I think one of the 2 or 3 best teams annually in the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Conference, which is a very good Division III conference.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been right there at the top. They've been in the playoffs numerous years, just battling for that top position, and they're a very good football team.
What are keys against them?
We've got to go out and play our game. They're big, they're physical, they're well coached, and they play hard. And I think that sounds just like us. So I think there's going to be a lot of similarities. I think it's going to come down to obviously you got to take care of the ball. Every team is going to want to win the turnover battle. You got to do that, and then just play harder for longer and find a way to get it done whenever the time counts.
I want to go back to one other thing about your victory over Albright. You've got those stable of 3 running backs, and sometimes who has the hot hand, and Colton Marshall seemed like he had the hot hand in that one.
He looked really good. He's probably bigger than he ever has been, but he looked faster than he ever has too. So that's a great combination. But we had Noah had some cramping issues and we couldn't quite get him to where he could get going. But we feel confident in all of those guys being able to step in and get the job done, and they did exactly that.
In college football, opening weekend had some crazy games. Duke beating Clemson, Baylor losing to Texas State, Texas Tech losing to Wyoming, TCU losing to Colorado. Division III wasn't immune. Number 3 ranked Mary Hardin Baylor got thumped by Wisconsin River Falls, 45-22. Did that one really surprise you?
I think anytime you look at a great program and they have a loss at all, but I think that it was a little shocking. I would think they would say the same thing, but we have so much for us to worry about and focus on that I can't really worry about what those guys are doing. But that Wisconsin league is a very good league. We've got a lot of respect for those guys. They do a great job all around.
I'm going to say, should that have gotten the attention of the kids that how good that league you're playing against?
I don't think it took much to get our guys' attention. They were very focused on the opportunity we had last year to go up to Wisconsin and play Platteville, and they'll be ready for this one as well.
Okay. Keys, what have the Cowboys got to do?
We got to go take care of business and keep the 100% of focus on us. It's not about them. It's all about the things we need to do, and our guys will do exactly that. They're preparing. When you have two great teams, it's a heavyweight fight. There's going to be shots on both sides, and we got to be the last man standing.
Coach, good luck this week.
Thanks, Al. Appreciate it.
Again, the Cowboys taking on Wisconsin lacrosse. That game at 1 o'clock on Saturday, and that's the Hardin Simmons Coaches Show. I'm Al Pickett. Thanks for joining us.